So, how are we doing?
I'm moving a little slow.
I'm just trying to see how you would do in an updo.
I'm just wondering
sort of
if I
thing.
could do an updo. You know,
Could you do an
I have
updo?
some
What's
you know,
this?
feathery sort of, no, layers.
Layers.
Layers, yes.
Okay, but we're doing okay?
We used to call it feathered back in the Farrah Fawcett
Remember
day.
that?
Yeah.
Remember back in the day,
And the
people of a
feathered-
certain age, you
feathered.
would feather it back, you would
Yes.
part it down the middle and feather,
Feather
it
it
back.
down. Now we layer it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look so heavy.
Yeah, we're both kind of dragging it this morning.
I don't know what it
What
is.
is it with it? It's a Tuesday morning, and we're both kind
Atmospheric, maybe? I'm
Yeah,
not
and
sure.
then have you ever done this? You wake up with this song in your head. You just wake up first thing in the morning, and you have this song in your head, and it
He's
will
been
not
singing
go
the
away.
theme song from Titanic.
The
all
love song
morning.
from Titanic. I don't know why that is stuck in my head, but I've been wandering around the newsroom all morning singing it.
Well, Celine Dion does it a little better, but you're not bad.
She has nothing to worry about. However, when I sing it around Megan, she wants to join in with me.
That's true.
And so right now, Megan, here we go. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
No, not so much. Let's do some news.
Actually, I'm always ready for a song, if I know it. But here's what's happening today. I'll give you guys an in-depth look at the Medora musical with the second part of our Backstage Pass series, showing what the performers do during the day. And high school students will learn about EMTs and healthcare today, and Tatiana Cash will bring us that story. And as always, don't forget to follow us on Twitter. And with Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, the secret to making mouth-watering country pork chops is here. Even though we hate to admit it, we're a nation who loves fried food, and while it may not be the healthiest way to eat, I think it's okay every once in a while. Learn how to make backwards pork chops with river gravy. Now let's take a look at the forecast.
Well, it's going to be another nice day today. Not a Goldilocks day because we've got a slight chance of some showers this afternoon. Nothing dramatic, though, or severe. Let's take a look at our weather headlines for your Tuesday. And we're talking 20% chance of showers. Highs are going to be in the upper 70s to the mid 80s. We're going to see partly sunny skies and light winds. So right now, temperatures anywhere from a degree to 4 or 6 degrees warmer than it was at this time yesterday morning. And right now it's 60 in Bismarck, 63 in Dickinson and Hettinger, 66 in Minot, and 65 in Williston. And here's a look at radar and satellite, showing you just a few showers west of Miles City. It'll take you in with our 1 hour loop, showing you that, we're seeing just a few of those light showers in Miles City. And this afternoon, we could be seeing some showers in central North Dakota. As you can see from our weather in motion model, we could be seeing showers from the Canadian border to the interstate throughout the afternoon hours. And again, nothing severe. Highs today around 80 degrees. Tomorrow morning, we wake up to lows in the mid to upper 50s, and then highs on Wednesday, a little warmer than today, around 80, and we could get close to 90 degrees in some areas of eastern Montana.
All right, 9:04 on North Dakota Today. And just a little reminder, we're kicking off a brand new segment on the show, and it's called, drumroll, Ask Kevin and Monica.
If you have questions about us, about life, you want us to fix your romance, your relationships,
You want us to fix your car?
yeah, just send those emails to us. And we can't necessarily, create world peace or anything, but we do have opinions on everything.
Yeah, one more time. Let's put that email address there. It's Ask Kevin and Monica, all one word, at KFYRTV.com. KFYRTV.com. We'll read them on the air, give you a little shout out. Be sure to tell us where you live so we can say, hey, that's where, and it's as simple as that.
Are you going to do that? Hey. All right. Always a pleasure to have Rod Freed from the Dakota Zoo here. Now today he's bringing
You're not too happy about this.
No, they're fascinating. As long as they stay in their little bin.
Good morning, Rod. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having
You
me.
tell us about your slimy friends here.
Well, these are tiger salamanders,
Okay.
and you can find these throughout North America. And there's 7 or 8 different types of tiger salamanders, and they go all the way from New Mexico, Arizona, all the way up into Canada. So they're throughout. They've been around for millions of years.
We have these here in North Dakota?
We have these in North Dakota.
This big?
These are from North Dakota.
They must
These
be
are-
shy because I've never
Well,
seen one of these.
if you, on a real rainy night, sometimes you'll see these guys going somewhere, and they're going to breeding grounds.
Are they in sloughs, or
They
where
live-
can you find them?
Like walking through your neighborhood?
You'll find them in town, you'll find them under leaf piles, you'll find them under water tanks or rain barrels. And they're
Wet, damp
amphibians.
places.
If
Yeah.
I saw one of those coming out at
Yeah, you would freak out.
Are these like the same kind of salamanders as like the gecko salamander?
No, that's a little bit different.
That's
That's
a
a
gecko.
gecko.
Oh, that's a gecko. Oh, gecko salamander. Okay, well,
But it's really, a lot of times if you're on the highway at night and it's really raining hard, you notice that you'll get toads and frogs and salamanders, and they're going to find pools to breed and lay eggs. And once they lay eggs, it takes about 4 weeks for them to hatch, and they lay them and they hide them underwater.
Okay.
And when they're hatched, these guys have a larval form, and they're also called mud dogs or mud puppies. And they
I've heard of those, yeah, okay.
And they look without the legs, and then they slowly, like a frog, will generate legs
Yeah.
and become adults. But they'll have external gills instead of fish has a gills, you know, in behind the gill plates.
Yeah.
These are just hanging out the side of their head like feathery plumes, and that's how they get oxygen from the water.
how big are they?
They start off just as a small egg, and kind of like tadpoles, but they just develop about the same way. And then these guys will live about 15 years in the wild, so
Really?
they're long-lived, and they'll eat almost anything, whatever they can get in their mouth, they'll go ahead and eat it. But they're extremely neat. I'm wearing gloves because they do have a mucus covering on them, and if I use my oils from my hands or take that mucus away, there's a chance of infection. So I'm removing their protective layer.
Okay, so
Yep.
the mucus protects them.
Correct. And some of them actually are a little bit toxic on the tails. So if other animals eat them,
They pay for it.
Yeah, they're going to pay for
But
it.
it's not like if you were to touch it, it wouldn't hurt you.
Now, some of, like toads, there's cane toads that have toxins in them too as a defense mechanism. So, yeah, but they're very interesting.
Trying to hide.
Yeah, that one's a little camera shy. We'll see if we can get them to talk it
And
up.
you can find these are all over the state of North Dakota.
Yes, South Dakota, North Dakota, from here to Canada. And in the wintertime, they'll just go below the frost line and they'll just hibernate until spring. And depending where they're at, when they come out of hibernation is due to temperature. And you'll see them when it's fairly cool in the 40s or 50s. They'll be out moving around. So they're very interesting.
Okay,
And
how big do they get?
about 7 to 14 inches, about 14 inches.
So this is pretty typical.
This is an average size, yes.
But this is confusing to me, though, that I've never seen one of these. I mean, you see frogs, you see toads, you see tadpoles.
They're pretty
minnows.
secretive. Usually at night is when they like to come
Okay.
out. There's less predators. They're very well camouflaged. They go through leaf litter, tall grasses on the edge of sloughs or stock dams and things
Yeah.
like
And
that.
how fast can they move?
They're actually pretty quick, from across the table fairly quickly if they want to.
And they can jump too.
No, they
No,
can't.
no, they-
Monica thinks they can jump, but they cannot.
Well, there's that famous blooper that we've probably all seen where the lizard jumps from the table onto the newscaster and he
Just freaks
out.
right.
I just don't want to be on YouTube.
No. They're pointed the other direction. too.
These have got to be, this sort of thing's got to be really popular with the kids that come over to Dakota Zoo and check
Absolutely. In our Bismarck Tribune Discovery Center, we have all our reptiles, amphibians, fish. There's something about little kids and reptiles and things that have slimy or scales.
Yeah.
They're just a great interest in it, and they're very interesting animals. And something that can be around for millions of years and not go through too many changes is pretty interesting. And back millions of years ago, they were huge. I mean, and there are some in other countries that are 3 or 4 feet long.
So is it just evolution and adapting to the environment where they get smaller over the years? I'm
Yep.
assuming?
If that was a benefit to be smaller or to be bigger, that's usually the ones that make it and survive and go on to the next generation. So that's called adapting and evolving, if you will.
How old are these two?
These two guys they're adulthood, and they reach adults at about 4 to 5 years of age, and that's
Oh.
breeding age. So depending on where they're at, how much food they get from the time they're hatched until they become semi-adults, just depends on their intake of food and the water.
And again, getting back to Biology 101, what's the difference between, now these guys are amphibians, right?
Right,
What's the difference between amphibians and reptiles?
Well, amphibians would normally be associated with water all the time. They
Okay.
lay their eggs in water. Lizards will not have to do that. They have eggs with like a leathery case
All right.
around them. So, yeah, just a different adaptation. What works for them does not work for everything. So,
All right. So what's going on lately at the Dakota Zoo?
we're still working on our primate building, trying to get that completed. We hope to open at least the outside the end of the month. So we're excited about that. We'll send out a press release when we get everything nailed down. The zookeepers have been working hard on the outdoor furniture, as we call it, the apparatuses for the primates to go out and exercise and have fun. We're very anxious to get them out along with a lot of our visitors too.
How many primates do you have?
We're going to have 7 endangered primates in that building, in that facility, and they're going to be inside and outside.
And what flavor, what types?
We're going to have Simang gibbons, they're the extremely loud ones, red ruff lemurs, marmosets, tamarins, brown-headed spider monkeys. So there's going to be a great variety of primates there, and it's going to be an awesome facility.
Okay,
Looking forward to seeing it.
Yeah, and that's the big goal this year.
Yep.
What's on the horizon then? What's the next big project?
You know, we'll finish this up, try to catch up a little bit from the summer and pick something else out. We've got a few things that we've got in mind, so hopefully we try to do something every year.
Now, I know being in the middle of the summer and everything like that, temperatures higher, anything, how do you take care of the animals in the summer heat?
Summer heat, we normally will do things for them like turn on a sprinkler in with the emus or the tortoises or the pigs.
And they
you know,
run through the sprinklers.
You know, for a while they will. The moose calf really enjoys the sprinkler when we turn that on there. It'll sit there and play for a while, and like anything else, it gets old and they get bored, and then they'll go lay down for a while. We don't do anything where we need to move an animal or physically do anything with them when it's extremely hot. The zookeepers will take plastic bottles, freeze water in there with a little blood in it, so the bears can lick on a blood ice cube during
Nice.
the day.
Yeah.
Oh, if you're a bear,
One of
that's
those.
Blood ice cubes.
if you're a bear,
yes.
that's fun. Feed frozen fish, give them that instead.
Okay.
So
And do they enjoy being wet, or like for instance, if you throw my dog in the water, he doesn't like it.
we don't chuck them into the water at any point. We give them that option. If you
Right.
want to go in, there it is.
You don't just throw the bear
no.
in.
There's Rod out there chucking an emu
No.
into the pool. All right.
The tigers are funny because they'll put a paw in once in a while, and then the next time you come by, they'll be in there splashing, having a blast.
All right. Go check out the Dakota Zoo. It's right here in Bismarck. We've got the hours and the address there. Kids 12 to 2, $4.25. Adults 13 plus, $7.25. And seniors $6.25.
Yes, it's an excellent deal. You can spend all day at the zoo. Have a
Yes,
great time.
indeed.
All right, Rod, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
And say hello to our slimy little friends there for us,
Yes.
will ya?
We'll take them home. They'll be on exhibit today.
All right,
very good.
You can,
All right.
you can see them there. All right, coming up, how to deal with postpartum blues. We'll be right back.